friends. Welcome, welcome. Kristen here. I'm so excited about what I'm going to talk to you about today. This is something that I learned about just this morning. I was watching Ed Milet's podcast, and he was talking to Dr. Kevin Tracy, who is an expert in the vagus nerve. Now, if you're like me, you don't know vagus nerve from nothing. I mean, I've heard something about vagus something or other, but I didn't know anything about it. But now I do. And it's important, and that's why I wanted to come on here right away and share this information with you because this is good, good stuff. So, most of us are living with a high degree of inflammation. Some of us that are really savvy about self-care, maybe we have stepped away from a lot of the things that inflame us. But for most of us, modern day living is an inflammatory experience, right? There's a lot to get inflamed about in this world. And that's bad because inflammation is the major source, or a major source, of aging in the face and the body and in our biology in general. Inflammation does not help us to get anything accomplished. So, what does the vagus nerve got to do with this? Well, today I found out that the FDA has just approved a new device that this Dr. Tracy invented, that they put a little something or other under your skin by the vagus nerve in your neck, and it lights itself up once a day and gives this little bitty electrical stimulation to this nerve, and that is having amazing results in about 50% of people that have rheumatoid arthritis that are not being helped by medication. So, what that says is that for about 50% of these people, this little stimulation of the vagal nerve tones down the inflammation in their body. So, why is that important to you? Because you have inflammation in your body, and now we have proof through scientific creation of a device that's been approved by the FDA that this actually is something that when the inflammation goes down for at least 50% of the rheumatoid arthritis population, the experience of arthritis is either gone completely or very much alleviated. And for those people that are suffering with rheumatoid arthritis, they can tell you it's very painful, and any improvement is a good thing. So now we have some evidence that this vagus nerve is really a big player in the inflammation story. So, given that most of us don't have rheumatoid arthritis, and I don't even think that this device is for sale yet, what can we do to use this vagus nerve information to calm down our own inflammation? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. So, just a little bit more information. The nervous system in your body, which is really what activates the parts of your brain that respond to life, there's three settings. There's the fight or flight mode, which is really great when you're in danger, and you either need to fight your way out or run away. And then there's a deeper level of this this setting. The second level of the setting is shutdown mode, which is about withdrawal or freezing, and that can be similar to even collapsing. And this is deeper inflammation than the fight or flight. And then the good news is the third part is the healing mode. And this is when the vagus nerve shuts off the mechanism that triggers all this inflammation. And when that's shut off, then the regenerative properties in the body can come online. So it's very good to know how to kick yourself over into this healing setting, especially when you've been in a period of some sort of stress and you want to step in and instead of letting the aging default mechanism just go through stress, fight or flight or freeze, and then all these inflammatory chemicals and the cortisol and the high blood pressure and the stress and the inflammation, instead of triggering that whole cycle, instead you want to trigger the healing cycle, which stimulates the vagus nerve in another aspect of the nerve, and that shuts down the inflammation, and that's when the regeneration takes place. So, what can we do? How can we use this? Here's the model that I'm exploring. The part of you that's connected to the source of life, all energy, the reason that you're alive and breathing and moving around, that connection, which any time you've seen a dead body, you realize that there is something that's animating that body, and when that is gone, the body is basically, it's back to dust, right? There is some sort of spark or divine spark or life force or something, and it's neither here nor there what you think that thing is, but I think most of us would agree that there is something that keeps the body processes going, I call it the living flame. I just love that image, the living flame. So what if your signal, your living flame, doesn't seem very bright? What can you do about that? And that happens not because the flame itself is actually diminished. The flame is the flame. The flame is an eternal, energizing source of life, creative energy. It's 100% strong in 100% of everything, not even just people, everything. Everything that's living is an aspect of this living flame. So it's not for anybody a matter that your living flame is diminished. No. But there are ways to live so that you experience less of that power. It's like the energy is coming down, but it's running into a door. Your door is shut. And so the part that gets through is less than the full charge. You see what I mean? And you can open the door a little bit so a little more comes through, or you can fling that sucker wide open and get the full on effect, which is very good. And that is when the part of the vagus nerve that turns off inflammation is really gets the go ahead to turn off. Everything's safe, you're secure, you're fine. Shut down the inflammation system and open up to the living flame, which is healing and regenerative and restoring. So the difference is not whether you have a living flame or not. And again, use the language that works for you. Whatever that is, whatever you call it, it's there because you're alive and you're breathing, and that means that you have it. But what if you're not feeling fully radically alive? That's my phrase that I love so much. Radical aliveness, that your spark is really, it's fully blooming. It's totally active. The door is fully open and it's pouring through your life. The creative energy is pouring through your life. If that's not the case, what can you do about it? It's kind of like a volume dial, right? It can be on low, it can be on medium, it can be on high, but it's there for everybody. And that's good because then you don't have to go find anything. You just have to get rid of the barriers that are keeping the door shut. So one of the main things that keeps the door shut is emotional hijackers. And emotional hijackers are triggered by my mindset, ideas that we have about ourself, life, and other people that cause these emotions, negative emotions, fear, worry, anxiety, bitterness, anger, guilt, Shame. Shame is a big inflamer. All of these emotions, you know that when you're really in the throes of any of those emotions, you are feeling inflamed, right? I mean, the beauty of this, it's all right there, right in front of us, and we didn't see it. We didn't know. But yeah, so you get into these emotional states that are inflaming, and what happens to your body? Your body gets inflamed. Duh, you know. That's why I'm so excited today. It's like I just saw this thing. It's so great to have a new awareness, because when you have a new awareness about a thing, you can make new choices. When you can make new meaning out of the circumstances around you, you can make new choices. New choices lead to new action. New action leads to new results, and new results, hopefully, if you've made good choices, leads to radical aliveness. So, the feelings that you have when the door is fully open is a feeling of safety, and then this nerve, the ventricle part. I mean, this gets complicated. I'm not going to go into all of that, but the vagus nerve, according to Dr. Tracy, the vagus nerve, which we think of it as one big thing. If you Google images, it starts in the back of the brain, and it goes down here on both sides, and it goes all the way down into the intestines on both sides. So it's not just some little thing in your neck, it's like a whole network. And there's parts of it are the one parts that say, hey, turn on the inflammation, gang, we're in trouble here. And then it activates, and you can fight or flight or freeze, whatever the situation calls for. But the other side of it is, hey, it's cool here, we're safe, we're sound, we're secure, turn off the inflammation and let's get to repairing. And that's the part that you want to focus on. You want to activate this ventral vagal pathway, and then the anti-inflammatory signals flow, and you get your oxytocin and your DHEA and all the other beautiful biological mechanisms that repair the body. And that leads to radical aliveness, which leads to a younger face, and no surgery, no drugs involved, just you managing your state of mind, the meaning that you're making out of the circumstances that you're in right now. Because even as bad as some circumstances are, and we have to face it, we live in a chaotic world, and sometimes a really chaotic circumstance will just get dropped right into the middle of your day, and you weren't planning for it, and you're not ready for it. So, what are you going to do? Well, if you can communicate to your body that even in the middle of this difficult situation, you're okay, then the vagus nerve will activate the healing aspects, and those are the aspects of you that are going to make the very best out of the situation. The parts of you that are going to see opportunities that were unexpected, that are going to take bold action and effective action. And so, even in a chaotic circumstance or an unwanted circumstance, if you are conscious and aware of these systems that I'm sharing with you, you can make the very best lemonade out of lemons. Okay, so that's why I came today to talk to you about this, because I know that plenty of you need to make some lemonade today. So let's do a little practice. You may know that I'm big into creating these little 3-minute practices. So put your hand on your heart and tune into your heartbeat. That by itself is a mechanism that makes you feel safe. You feel this beautiful heart energy, and you feel the beating of your heart. And notice that you didn't write "beat my heart" on any to-do list today. Your heartbeat is given to you, friends. So just notice that. Your heart is beating. Your lungs are opening up and taking in air, and then when it's spent, it exhales that batch of air and takes in a new one. And that, again, there's no breathing probably on your to-do list. Your breath is given to you. It happens, and if you try to stop it, your body will begin to fight you. I mean, this is a mechanism that's given to you. It's a gift. So breathe 3 seconds in and then slow down to breathe out 7 seconds out. And just do that a few times. When the exhale is longer than the inhale, that's one of these messages that goes to the vagus nerve and says, hey, everything's cool. We're not running. We don't need all the blood flow in the legs, for example. It's like, no, blood's in the chest, getting plenty of oxygen, going out to the whole body. All the cells are getting their needs met. This is good. So then after you take these 3 breaths, ask yourself, well, what if I just opened up 10% more of this living flame energy? And just imagine if this flame's burning, it's a beautiful, cool flame. It doesn't hurt you in any way. It's a life energy. And just imagine seeing a dial on that flame and just turn it up just a little bit and just feel what that's like. For me, it's a warm feeling, like an energy, but it's not an anxious, jittery energy. It's just a very foundational, solid, grounded. I've got everything I need right now, but I'm calm and I'm relaxed and I'm activated, but I'm not frantic or hurried or rushed or stressed. I'm just energized. I'm vitalized. I'm radically alive. But just imagine that. Turn your dial up and imagine. And then just find something to appreciate. Is your chair holding you up? Do you have a beautiful view out your window? Can you smell the coffee that's percolating in the other room? Can you taste something delicious that you had for lunch? Can you feel the soft blanket that might be on your bed? Just appreciate something. And then just sort of do a little scan of your body and notice how it feels now compared to just a moment or two ago. I can feel it myself. You might notice that I had a little bit of a more energetic presentation to you, and now I'm dropped down into a quieter place inside myself. So, you don't need the FDA-approved device in order to trigger your living flame mechanism in your vagus nerve. You can do it by your focus, by your intention, by the images that you allow yourself to experience. And in doing that, you will energize your life, you will energize your face, and if you begin to live in this parasympathetic nervous system of calm, safety, you will find over time that your body will be getting younger. Your biological age will go down. And that feels good. And that's why I'm here, because I like feeling good and I like doing whatever I can do to help you feel good too. So that's the end of today's message. Thank you very much. I love that you were here with me today. Big hugs. See you next time.